And are you come to Signwrite? Oh God, I'm on the nerve.
No, I'm from this place. I'm from the Horton, so I know nothing about signwriting or signwriters. I'm learning quite a lot.
Okay.
So can you, just for the camera, just introduce yourself? Is that all right? Just tell us who you are.
I'm Martin, the signwriter. I'm from Brighton. I've been signwriting for over 40 years, and I love every day of it.
Fantastic. And just want to talk us through what you're working on today?
I'm just doing a small honours board for Letterheads, so the title will be Letterheads. I'm going to do that in gold leaf, and it will say 2024 Epsom. Down here will be the date that the signwriter started work, so mine will be 1982, and then my name will be by the side of it, Martin Law, and then I'm going to get lots of other signwriters to come and put their name on it.
Fantastic.
And then this will be up for auction at the end on the Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
fantastic.
hopefully with all the good names on it, like Dave Smith, Dave Kinniston, Joby Carter, everyone's going to go, I want that. And it will raise more money.
So those are the sort of legends of the world of.
I think it's. I mean, they're very big on Instagram, Facebook. So they're the ones that are out there and people learn about, hear about. Joby does lots of courses, as does Dave Smith, as do I. But I'm just not as well known because I'm not out there on the internet as much. But yeah, I just love it.
Okay, so tell us a bit about your signwriting journey. How did you get into it? Why did you get into it?
Why did I get into it? Basically, I really didn't like school.
Okay.
And I left school at 15, even before my exams. Just didn't get on, it just didn't suit me. So I did a careers lesson where we had to write letters to various companies, of which I did loads of signwriting companies. I got one back. They invited me for an interview. I started doing Saturday mornings. I did 8 weeks. And at the end of it, I just asked, are you going to give me a job or not? He said, okay, start Monday. So I walked into my school, shook hands with the headmaster, said, I'm starting work on Monday. And he went, oh, okay, good luck. And I walked out of school.
My goodness.
And then my real education started.
Right.
So I would say to any child, education is a good thing, but it's not the be-all and end-all. My education of life started as soon as I walked out the school gates.
It was a different.
Yeah, I wasn't stupid. You know, I can read, write, and do mathematics, but I've learned so much more.
Yeah.
Just walking out the gates and learning about life and people. I love talking to people, as you can probably gather. I love helping people, teaching, and it's great.
And you've never looked back.
I haven't at all. No, I mean, signwriting took a dip a good sort of 10, 20 years ago, so I went into house decorating. I also did a school nursery with my ex-wife, which all went very well, and then signwriting's coming back into fashion.
Okay.
So now I'm back doing it.
Oh,
so,
right, as a profession again.
Yeah. I mean, I was never out of it.
No, okay.
But there just wasn't the work, especially when the computer came in and killed it. But a lot of my customers don't want vinyl anymore.
And why is that then? Why do you think it's... What's the reason for that resurgence?
I'd say it was the craft is coming back into fashion. A bit like flares or in music and vinyl. Everything goes round. It really does. So I think it's just a big call for it at the moment. People want to go back to how things used to look. And yeah, they just like creative stuff.
Yeah.
And it helps with all the courses. So people are aware of it now. People want to try it themselves.
Okay,
they can see how hard it is. They can see how enjoyable it is and what you can produce.
Yeah.
So with relatively small equipment as well.
Yeah,
it's not a big outlay. Brushes are relatively cheap. You can make a palette, you can make a stick, dippers, you know, it's all very accessible.
Yeah. Okay. I've interrupted you, so I'm just going to get some footage of you actually working, if that's okay.
Yeah, no. That's definitely, my brush is all dried up now.
Sorry. So these flourishes that you're adding now, is this pre-designed, or are you just...
I'm just making this up on the spot. So a lot of signs that you'll probably see up here this weekend are all paper drawings, and people will trace off what they've done.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm 40 years plus into the trade, so each letter that I come across, I will just make it up as I go along.
It's the older training, the older skills.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the things that's sort of over a brew or two. The older guys go, "Oh, I wouldn't have done it that way," and like there's processes, and like some people do it, and you think technically you're wasting your time, you're taking too long, but like, as Martin says, he eyeballs it as he goes along. He corrects it, extends it, shortens it. All these little nuances he understands. And that's why it's a really long earned skill.
Yeah. I mean, basically, when I started, there was 10 signwriters in my workshop. And when I started, my boss would come along and basically go, "That's crap, rub it off, do it again." Okay. Do it again.
I'm offended.
Yeah. And he'd say 10 times, "It's crap, rub it off, do it again." And it is heartbreaking, but it's made me a reasonable signwriter. But you can't say that these days, because there's several people that I've seen who work in my area who really need some help, and I'm trying to help them, but you have to be correct in what you say, whereas my boss would just come along and say, "That's rubbish, do it again."
Like, you're taught to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
And because your eye isn't trained, you don't do it the right way. It's a big flat spot in the bottom of the O. You can't see it because your eye's not trained. Then you see it. Turn the sign upside down, you'll see it.
Yeah.
But it's about training the eye and learning from really brilliant people too, and listening, all that sort of stuff. Putting the hours in.
Yeah. Because say 10 signwriters when I started, everyone was different.
Yeah,
Everyone had their own
styles.
style and stuff like that. So in the end, a signwriter of sort of my generation will develop his own style of lettering. So I can do a really good block. It might not be as Letraset says it, but it will be a good block.
Yeah.
My Roman might not be Dave Kinniston's Roman, but it's a reasonable Roman.
Yeah,
But it has your nuance. And someone walked out, there's one of Martin's signs, there's one of Chris's signs.
Yeah, that's what's lovely about it.
And it's a real human touch there. People say, "Oh, I really like that artist, I'm going to copy them," but your own style is the easiest to access. As long as, let's say, it's correct and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely.
Yeah, in those days too, I do it in a similar way. I know that we had 5 very, very good tradesmen, and I was lucky enough to have been part of that, to be the youngster in amongst them, and they were hard, like the same sort of thing. But the other thing was, it was all males.
Yeah.
Very male.
That was at the era we had Playboy pictures all over the wall.
Yeah.
It was accepted.
Absolutely.
You could have that, and swearing was a thing that, it didn't matter which part of the workshop you're in. You could say whatever you wanted when you wanted. It was quite a different time.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was hard, but it was good.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about like the ladies coming into the game is fantastic. But that crossover, some of those pioneers, like Leanne, like she's of an age that she would have been in Australia.
That was probably.
Yeah,
She's superb.
Yeah, she would have had to have taken the School of Hard Knocks because
Oh, yeah.
the Australian
Yeah,
male
most
can be a little bit confrontational.
You don't say.
Hey. Yeah, it's but it's all changed. It's fantastic. I think it's a great dynamic. Like, what would you say the percentage of ladies here?
It's got like 50.
I think it's got to be 50. Yeah,
Yeah. It's a lot.
really good.
Should be encouraged.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Okay.